So hi, everybody. This is Rick Carman, 214 Podcast. We are going to have a episode next week with Ashley Brodnax. She is going to come on and she's going to talk about the Enlisted Association of the Arkansas National Guard, and it's EAANG. And she is running for the Vice President of the uh, EANGUS Association, which is the Enlisted Association of National Guard of the United States. And those are both enlisted associations, and she is running for vice president of that, and she's in the middle of her campaign. I think that the election is coming up in like August 4th or 8th or something. I know it's the beginning of August sometime. We'll ask her when she gets on. But next week's episode will be Ashley Brodnax, and she is in the 189th Air Wing at Little Rock Air Force Base, Air National Guard. So she's going to come on and talk about that. I think she's going to talk about, she's also a coach in the CrossFit. So she's going to talk about that. And she's going to talk about, I think she has another organization that she's a part of, or the founder of, Ignite Women on Fire is the name of that. And I don't know what that's about, but I'm excited to talk to her about it. Ashley's a good friend of mine and a colleague from the Air Force, my Air Force days. And she's just all around good person and a hard worker. And so I can't wait to have her on the show. I can't wait for you to see her on the show. So tune in for that. That's going to be a great episode. It's going to be awesome. She's going to be really exciting to talk to, because she's got a lot of experience. She's got years, I think 20 years of experience in the military. So she's going to be just a great interview. I cannot wait. So stay tuned for next week, and we're going to be doing that. And then the following week will be me again, but next week will be me and Ashley. And but stay tuned for next week. I think it's going to probably be, I'd like to try to get it uploaded on Wednesday, no later than Thursday next week. I will let you know during well, it'll be too late by then. Anyway, we'll try to get it up Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday of next week, the week of the 20th, July the 20th, 21st, 22nd. So 22nd or 23rd, I'll try to have her interview up. Okay, so be looking for that, Ashley Brodnax from the 189th Air Wing. And until next time, get up, get out, and get better. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the 214 Podcast. My name is Rick Carman. I'm your host, and you're watching episode 4. That's right. We made it to episode number 4 of the 214 Podcast. I never thought we would make it, but we did. And we'll see how this one goes. Let's see if we make it to episode number 5. We'll see. We don't know. So I don't know if you could tell behind me, we got some, I don't know, just a little bit different look of the set a little bit. We're always upgrading, always, trying to make the show better. So every week, hopefully you'll say, oh man, that's something new. And, or that's new, or man, that looks better. The lighting's better, or the sound is better. Really working on the audio. Today, I got these, what do you call it? Headphones on. And, I haven't had these on before, so we'll see how it goes. I tested them last time with my friend Josh, who is a fellow podcaster. We're doing another podcast called One More Round, and that's coming up here in a couple weeks. And so we tested the audio, and I tested this, and these are Dr. Otech. And if you're wondering what Dr. Otech is, that is my first metal detector that I had. And it came with these earphones. And I got into metal detecting because I was watching that show, Duck Family Treasure, with the Duck Dynasty guys, Jace Robertson and those guys. And so I got really into metal detecting. But here's the deal with me, okay? And let me know if any of you are like this. I am, and this is not on my rundown. It's like totally not on my rundown, but rabbit holes. This shows are all about rabbit holes. Um, that's that's what I told my friend Josh. I don't know if I told him that. I might have told him that, but these shows are just rabbit holes. You get on the subject, go down a rabbit hole. That's what these shows are. So anyway, back to the earphones. So I bought these metal detectors, and I do this all the time. Okay, I'm all about it. I bought these things. I get on this search and I search the computer, and I'm all into it. I did the same thing with mountain bikes and kayaks and everything like that. So I get all into it, and I buy all this stuff, spend all this money. I go out in a metal detect one time, and I'm like, this is cool, but I don't have time to do this. It's the ground's too hard. I don't want to go like in a public area and try to find somewhere to metal detect and get in trouble. So I didn't do it very often. I even contacted a friend of mine from grade school, actually, who was on Facebook. And I found him, and I was like, he's a big metal detector. David Reed, if you're out there, shout out to my buddy David Reed from grade school. So we were going to hook up and do metal detecting, and I just never did because I didn't get into it. Now I still have my metal detectors, and I'm hoping to someday do it. I really want to do the beach thing where you like go underwater in the beach and find like um wedding rings and stuff like that. So I've got all the stuff. I even got a little scoop that you scoop up the sand with and do all that, but I haven't used it yet. So anyway, that's where these come from. These headsets come from. Um, so anyway, 214, we're back. We're bad, and we're doing it, man. Last week, I didn't have a show like this because it was right before the 4th of July, and I brought my wife on, and her name is Julie, and she is a nurse practitioner, a psych nurse practitioner, and she came on and she talked about PTSD and how to handle PTSD through the holidays, through 4th of July, and the different types of PTSD, who can have PTSD. It was a pretty good episode. It was a little rough for me because it was my first in-person episode. It was my first interview and also my first in-person interview. So technically, it was a little difficult getting the studio set up. Right here, we had a round table, and we set up, and we had wireless mics. And her wireless mic ended up failing, but it didn't end up mattering because I had one on, and we really didn't need two, to be honest with you, as close as we were together. And so it was a good episode. It was informative, as she always is. She was beautiful and wonderful, as she always is. She has over 30 years experience as a nurse practitioner, teacher. She taught college nursing. She taught at University of Phoenix for a while. She taught locally here at college, and then she was doing, before this year, she was doing spots on a news station about the 4th of July thing. And so I thought I would steal her from the news station. I brought her here, and I hope a lot of people watch it in the future and get some good information from it. They 145. They she does a lot of this stuff during the holidays, and so a lot of people can watch this and get information from it. And in the future, I don't know if I'll run it again. I may just have somebody on every year in the future for these holiday things and talk about PTSD or different things or depression, stuff like that. Because I know we got a lot of veterans that will watch this channel or are watching this channel, and I know that kind of stuff's important. We'll talk about depression, the VA, PTSD, stuff like that. But this channel, if you're new to this channel, it's not just about military people. It's also about men over 50, growing older, or anybody over 50, anybody that's hit their 50s and is transitioning from one aspect of their life to the next, or from one career to the next career, or, just a phase of your life to the next phase of your life. Um, this channel was started based off the DD 214 in the military that actually releases you from duty of a certain type of duty, and so that's why it's called 214. But it's for everybody. Just the military people kind of understand the name a little bit better of the show, but I think it was a cool name, so we went with it. So that's what we're doing here. I got a little bit of a rundown about like what happened 4th of July, and we already had I think a post 4th of July show. No, we didn't. We had a pre 4th of July show. It's been so long since I had a show like this because we did the interview, and then I've got another show called Gen Expert. I'll put it on the screen. I want you to check that out. It's a short form video, YouTube videos of Gen Expert, which is me, and talk about stuff kind of like what we talk about on this show. It's kind of a supplement to this show where we talk about fitness after 50, getting older, dealing with transitioning into your later years, dealing with the world passing us by, getting younger, and Gen Z and Gen millennials and stuff like that. Dealing with that and the language and all that stuff. And so it's fun and stuff. Some of the younger crowd might get offended a little bit, but it's all in good fun. We love everybody here. This is a Christian program. We try to be Christian, but we are also men. So, we're called to be men of this world. And so we love everybody. We love our neighbors. We may not like our neighbors, but we love them. All right. So let me get a drink here. Okay. So I'm not sure how the lighting, I don't have much lighting around here. I'm not sure how it looks on the camera. I mean, it looks good here. I got my computer here. You see me looking around a little bit. I've got all this stuff. I've got all this information for you guys. I mean, I've got papers, I've got computers, I've got laptops, I've got a producer. Hey JT, how's it going, buddy? Pretty good, pretty good. I got my producer JT. He's my co-producer. He's producing against his will. Um, that's what happens when you have an oldest son. You make them do stuff against their will, and so he's against his will producing, helping me produce this show. You'll hear me talk about JT and talk to JT off camera a little bit. He, because a lot of times he's a phenom with looking stuff up. So a lot of times I'll ask him questions, and he knows a lot about history. He is very smart. Made the honor roll for the 3rd year in a row or whatever it is, and so he's very smart, and he knows a lot about history. He knows more about history than I ever will, ever did, or ever cared to know. So he knows everything. He knows stuff. He needs to go on like that show Jeopardy. That's where he needs to go. He would go on Wheel of Fortune and clean up. You know what I'm saying? So I asked him a lot of questions offline about random stuff, and he has a lot of random facts and stuff. So anyway, so that's JT, and the reason I'm going through all this is stuff because this is a new channel. This channel is growing and building, and there are a lot of people that are maybe coming on here for the first time. So, at least for the first 6 months of this show, we're probably going to just kind of talk a little bit about what the show's about and all that stuff, so that we can, so that people aren't too lost. If you feel like you want to go back and watch the other shows, I would appreciate that. And please hit subscribe, hit like, hit that stupid bell thing, just to show me that you're out there. The last show, before the PTSD show, I call this single show, where you're not doing an interview. It was pretty good, I think. I think that was a pretty good one. And we're going to try to make the shows better every time we come on, try to make the shows better. We're going to try to do these shows once a week. Um, the format I think will be like do a show and then do an interview and then do a show and then do an interview. That's kind of what I'm going to try to do. I don't know because I did a show, and then I did the interview with Julie, and now I'm doing this show, and I just feel like I haven't done a show in so long. And I've been doing videos for Gen Expert every day because we're doing. Oh, that's another thing. We're doing the Patriot Push-Up Challenge for the month of July on the Gen Expert channel, and it's I get on there and I talk a little bit of wisdom, that I have, if I have any, and then I'll do 31 push-ups on air. 31 push-ups. You can watch me do them, and then you can critique them like my friend Josh does, and other people that I know that have got on and said my push-ups are really great, but I don't care. So anyway, so that's what we're doing on that other channel, and we're doing it um, for 31 push-ups because there's 31 days in July, and we're doing it to honor our patriots, our veterans, who keep this country safe and free, and the patriots who made this country, and anybody else that has anything to do with that has anything to do with this wonderful country and keeping it free and the greatest country in the world. So, so we're doing that to honor those people, and I'm telling you, I'm having a good time doing it, but I will be kind of ready when it's done because I'm shooting these episodes every single day. They're anywhere between 15 to 8 minutes long, or 15 to 5 minutes have been kind of the smallest one. And it's an everyday thing. It's a grind, let me tell you. And plus, I got to do these 31 push-ups on every day on the camera. So I'm getting stronger. I did a little bit of bench press yesterday. See if I wanted to talk about that. Yeah, I did a little bit of bench press yesterday, and so I'm getting stronger. I'll tell you about my um, uh, issues that I had yesterday in the gym a little bit later in the program because I want to go from that into our structure, our lesson for the day. So what we have on the program is our structure. I'm developing the structure. This thing is, like I said, ever changing, just like you know, just like sitcoms will start one way and the characters will be one way, and then they'll change over a period of time and they mold into what they're going to be. That's where we're at. We're in the infancy stage of this program, and we're going to mold over a period of time of what we're going to be. And every episode is going to feed off the last episode in some way. So it's almost like a series. You can almost count this as like a series, like a sitcom, except I'm much funnier than a lot of these actors are. You know, um, that was a joke if you didn't know. But anyway, so we're going to be growing, and the structure of this program is growing because I'm figuring it out as I go. This is new to me. This podcasting thing, I love it. I grew up I didn't grow up in my 20s. I went to radio broadcasting school, and I spent $50,000 to go to this broadcasting school in Tulsa. Okay, you know what they taught me? How to talk on microphone, and how to put stuff on a cassette tape, which that's what we had back then, cassette tapes. And then I got a couple of jobs calling football games or basketball games and sports and stuff, and then selling stuff. And then I ended up working at Fox and another network. I can't remember the name of it. Is a big network in Tulsa where I was a cameraman. I was a cameraman I was a cameraman for ABC here in Arkansas, and I was a cameraman for the morning show. And then at Fox in Tulsa, I was a MCO, I think they called it. I was the guy. Okay, so I was the dude. All right, get this. This was cool, and I loved this stuff, but it didn't pay anything. So anyway, so I was the dude. Say you're watching like Big Bang episodes reruns, or you're watching Friends reruns, or whatever it is you guys watch. I was the dude who, like, we would get these Friends tapes from the network, and we'd put them in, and then before they ran, and then they would have blanks like black spots where the commercials go. So I was the dude that I had to rewind the tape back just right. We had to be really nice, like tape things, and rewind it just right to where just the black started, and then I would slide in a local commercial from like Tulsa area or Oklahoma, whatever. I would slide that commercial in, and then that would air on the air, right? And then some of the blanks were like national commercials, but there are a certain amount that were for local commercials, and I added the local commercials in, and then I basically ran the TV station for however many hours, 8 hours or whatever it was. And so that was kind of cool because I would call my friends because they have this little emblem on they have a little emblem that comes on the TV, like you're watching CBS or whatever. Well, that's just a little button you click. And so I would call my friends and like, hey dude, watch this. Turn on TV, watch this. And he's like, watch this, boom. And I put up there and he goes, oh man, do it again. I was like, do it again. And so that was pretty much my 20s, doing stuff like that. But it didn't pay anything. So I spent $50,000 going to this radio school, and I got radio jobs that were paying me like $5 an hour. And so I was in debt because I had gotten school loans for this crap, right? And so I was like, man. So I hung out in Tulsa for a while, and I started doing I started doing credit card collection. Back then, you could get jobs like everybody from the radio school. We were all in our 20s or something or younger. And everybody in the radio school, we would all, as a pack, like 5 or 10 of us, we would go and find jobs. Like one person would find a job at a debt collection agency. It's like, hey, they're hiring over here. So we all went over there. One person, the best job I had was WorldCom, MCI WorldCom, I think. It was a fiber optic company, and I think they end up getting in trouble for fraud or something. I don't know what happened, but I made a lot of money there. But that place was kind of highfalutin. I wouldn't get for that place because a lot of fancy offices. They had like snack bars in the building. It was crazy. It was like going to like Facebook or something, the Facebook home offices or something. So anyway, that's my background. So this show is going to evolve. So I'm going to have a structure. So what I try to do is like what I'm doing now is telling stories about, okay, we'll talk about the past episode and a little bit of what happened. And because in this episode, we'll talk about what's coming up. In the last episode, we talked about what's coming up. So we'll talk about what happened with what was coming up. Right. And so then, I'll talk about a little bit of news or whatever if I want to, if there's anything going on, and tell some stories of stupid stuff that happens to me during the week or stuff, whatever, or rants that I may want to do. Try not to do a whole lot of rants on here. I used to do that a lot, but the more I do my Bible study and the more I get closer to Jesus, the more I try to go away from rants because they are funny. It is funny to rant and gripe about young people and to gripe about stupid people, right? It's funny, but it's not really Christian. So while I will do some of that, I'm trying not to, but some of it's just too funny not to do. Am I right? I'm right. Yeah, I'm right. So that's why I'm not. I mean, I could come on here and talk for an hour and just rant about stupid people. I could, but it's not very Christian to do that. Okay. It's not holy to do that. So I don't think Jesus would do it. I don't think he would like me doing it. I don't think I would do it if he was sitting right here, which he is. So that being said, this is not a Come At You Bible channel, but those are my thoughts and my feelings and what I believe. And if you're not into that, you're not going to like this podcast. I just have to be straight up with you. We honor Jesus here. We honor God here. And if we do anything else, if we do nothing else here, we are going to honor God. And, if you're on the fence with God, let me know. And I'll be glad to steer you towards him. All right. Because he loves you. And if you're in trouble out there, just know God loves you. There's somebody out there that loves you. Okay. We love you. We love you here. We love you here at the show. Right, JT?
Yep.
JT says yes as he's gaming or something. He games during his production stuff. So that's great. So I am getting to the structure. Okay. So the structure shows me telling stories, me telling stories, what happened in the last week, and then talk about some stuff that happened to me. And then I'll usually go into a little bit of news. Try not to cough on air, but all this talking makes me cough some. So I'll be drinking and coughing. So I'll try to edit as much of that out because I know it's horrible to listen to. And then once I go into a little bit of news and stuff like that, then we get into the I don't know, I call it the topic of the day, I guess you could say. And today's topic, I guess, I don't know, can I tell you now what the topic of the day is? I think we're going to talk about fitness today because I had some issues. Well, because first of all, we got this fitness challenge, this Patriot Push-Up challenge going on at Gen Expert. And so we got that going on, and that's fitness oriented. And then I've been going to the gym, and I had an issue yesterday at the gym that I'm going to talk about. And then I've been going through some weight struggles that I want to talk about a little bit, although that's getting better. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about. The first thing I want to tell you today is that it is hot. It's hot. We've been mowing. Okay. First of all, around 4th of July time, it mowed. It mowed. I mean, it mowed. It rained for like 3 weeks straight, and then it didn't. And so I had like 2 days to mow uh, lots of acres. I'm not allowed to tell you how many acres I have, but let's just say it takes probably a day and a half to mow it all. If I didn't come in and if I just on the tractor all day mowing, that doesn't include the weed eating that you have to do with one of those push behind weed eaters because it's so rocky you can't use like a push mower, and a little weed eater just won't do. So and I need a push mower, but that's a different story. But so I have a riding mower, and we use a riding mower for trimming area, and then the ditches and the rocky areas. I got 2 teenagers that I use, and they push these weed eater things, and that you do, And then I've got a guy. I literally have a guy um, that's on staff. What do you call it when you put a lawyer? You have a lawyer on staff. Oh, I can't remember the name. Retainer. I have a guy on retainer, JT. Way to go, JT. Good job, buddy. So I have a guy on retainer that fixes my lawn equipment because I'm horrible at fixing lawn equipment. I mean, though I'm horrible at fixing anything. I mean, I'm not mechanically inclined. I was this athlete growing up. I played sports. That's all I did. I played sports. I did enough to get through school, played sports. I didn't hunt. I've talked about that on some show. I don't know if it might have been this one. I don't hunt because I played sports. So trying to teach JT and his other brother how to hunt, and we're using my wife's uncle for that because he's a manly man. And so we're gonna learn how to hunt and do it right, and all that stuff. But I played sports growing up, so I didn't have all that. I didn't have any other skills really. So I did not work on cars or anything like that. I thought the best thing to do would just be buy new stuff, and I buy a lot like I said with the things. I buy a lot of new stuff, and it sits in the garage like the metal detectors. I got a brand new bike I've ridden like 4 or 5 times. You know, I thought it was going to be a bike. Um, I don't. I'll tell you later about my skateboarding incident. Um, that's a story for another day. So anyway, so that's the structure, and then at the end we're going to go into uh, fitness stuff that I think it relates to this week and what's been going on. I try to have it kind of all come back around and relate to each other. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. So that way you have a little bit of structure and there's not some dude on here rambling, even though I do ramble and I do go down rabbit holes. But like I said, these shows are basically about rabbit holes. If you ever think about it, You get a host or two guys or whatever they are, and they talk about a subject matter and then they just go into it, and then whatever. So that's what we're gonna do here. It's not, it's not hard to do that. I gotta write this down real quick. Get messages. You ever get messages on your phone? I mean, on your watch? I hate, I hate this. If anybody out there is working for Garmin, I want one of those Garmin watches, the nice ones that has a, you know, GPS on it. I'm gonna get rid of this Apple Watch. So if you're out there, Garmin, hit me up. So, do I have any products? I I do have a product that I put in the link. We talked a lot about James Clear here, because his system, his program, his idea has pretty much changed my life in the 1% rule. And you've heard me talk about it before. I talk about it all the time. It's not my thing. It's James Clear. He developed a 1% rule where you just do 1% a day or 1% of something. And it's a long process. I'm not going to go through it today because I've talked about it on previous episodes. You can go back and watch that. But I will put a link down there if you want to go to either jamesclear.com, or you can go to my Amazon link and you can click on that, buy his book, and I get a little bit of taste. I get a little taste of that. I get a little taste of the greenery. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, buddy, you got to make money doing this stuff. The wife says you got to make some money doing this stuff. I'm like, I'm doing this for fun. This is my love. This is my purpose in life. Because as men over 50, especially if you're retired like I am, you have to find purpose, right? This is my purpose. Bringing entertainment and bringing knowledge to the masses that are like 8 subscribers. And you 8 guys, well, 3 guys, because probably 4 of them, however many slept after 3, 5 of them was my family. I don't know. Whatever. So, anyway, I got to get some green. So click on that link that I put down there. And I don't have an Amazon page, okay, because I'm not important enough. They won't let me have an Amazon page where I have all my stuff there. So I have to do links, and it goes to like, James Clear's book. It'll go directly to that page, and you buy it, and then I get a little taste of the action. You know what I'm saying? And I got this thing right here. I have to drink water constantly. I've got this cotton mouth issue, because of some of the meds that I take, and I won't go into that right now. But so I drink a lot of water. So, but do you hear that? It's ice. I love ice. So, and this is my cup. It's my go-to, but eventually, I'd like to get one that says like, you know, um, Pro Talk Media or whatever the name of my show is. But anyway, I've got to get I got to get something with a straw. Now, I know that men do not drink out of straws unless you're drinking a chocolate shake or, you know, some kind of large Coke from Sonic or um, Chick-fil-A or large sweet tea from there. You know what I'm saying? Um, Men don't use straws, but I'm going to use a straw on this show because it's less. First of all, you don't, Google, that's kind of obtrusive when you're shooting a video, and then this is a lot less ice shaking. So, so if you see me with one of these with a straw, don't at me. Don't don't give me a hard time about it, because I know men aren't supposed to drink out of straws, and I don't normally, but on this show I'm going to have to, for you. I'm going to have to be secure in my manhood for you, my audience, because sincerely, I know I'm joking around, but sincerely, this show is not about me. It's not about you. This is about you. This is about me servicing you, or me giving you something when you come home from a hard day at work, or you're running or walking on the track or whatever. Give you something entertaining to listen to, man. Maybe listen to a guy that you're like, man, I'm glad I'm not like that dude, right? My life's bad, but at least I'm not Rick Carman on the 214 podcast. That dude is messed up. You know what I'm saying? I say that a lot about Theo Vaughn. I'm like, Theo Vaughn's great, but man, that dude had a bad childhood, man. Check out Theo Vaughn. He's really good at what he does. Not particularly, he's a little vulgar at times, but I think the Lord's working on Theo. I really do. I've seen a lot of clips, and I think the Lord's working on him. And I think at some point, Theo could be the next Paul. Don't come at me. Don't come at me, Christians. I'm not saying he's Paul. I'm saying in a way that Paul was transformed and had all these people, a lot like the Dick Dynasty guy. He was transformed and he brought all these people to Christ. Theo has a big audience, and if he was ever transformed into Christ, he could do great things for this world. And so, gotta love our brothers, man. I pray for you, Theo, and I love you, and I hope you get over your demons, and you just keep letting the Holy Spirit work on you, brother. You'll get there. I believe in you. All right. Okay. So that being said, we talk about it's being hot. Oh, so okay. So it's been hot and we've been mowing and everything. So you mow. So you got 2 days to mow. So I mowed and then I turn around and it starts raining again. So I've got like I would say 80% of it mowed right now. And now this last week, 3 days, it's been hot. So hot we can't mow. I mean, we can, but you know, we don't want to be out in the heat. But I think I'm going to make the teenagers get out in the heat tomorrow and mow a little bit. We got a lot of weeding mowing to do, and I got a little bit of mowing the tractor to do. So, but it's hot, so I'm just waiting on everything to die. Yeah, die. When all these people, all right, these people say, "Oh man, we sure needed that rain." No, no. Are you a farmer? Because if you're a farmer, yeah, you need it. But if you live in a city and you're telling me we needed that rain, I don't care. I don't need rain. I don't need grass to grow. If I'm not growing crops, I don't need it. Now they need it wherever they're at, but that drives me crazy when people say we sure needed it. We sure need it. And I'm like, what do you need it for? You get your water from the city. I mean, so your grass is green. What do you do? I'd rather not have to mow 100 acres or whatever it is. And so what I'm going to do is when it gets really hot, like now, I'm going to start mixing up this concoction. My wife won't let me use diesel fuel, or because in the 80s, to kill grass, right? In the 80s, when we were playing football, they used to use diesel fuel to do the lines on the football field. I remember in 2 days we would do that, and the coach would be out there spraying diesel fuel as lines, and then we'd be out there on our hands and in 100-degree heat, and like diesel fuel on our hands and in our face mask and everything. Can you imagine that now? I mean, my wife won't even let me use Roundup. She says it's bad for the soil or whatever. So I have to use I don't know what it is, soap and vinegar. Vinegar, that's what it is. And this stuff's expensive, man. You ever try to buy like 5 gallons of vinegar? It's not cheap. And so anyway, I gotta mix that vinegar, salt, and soap. These things, I'm not used to wearing these things, so I'll be pulling them up every now and then because my ears get tired. You know, I don't know if yours can get tired, but mine are tired. My ears are exhausted from all this earring. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so yeah, in the 90s and the 80s, man, especially in the 80s, they used to do that they used to put diesel fuel on everything. So, the reason I thought of this because I was putting diesel on the tractor the other day, and I noticed today that there's a spot in the front yard, like just a dead spot. and it's probably where I spilled diesel fuel. So I'm hoping the wife doesn't find it or watch this podcast, which she doesn't watch my podcast. The only time she ever sees them, hears them, or knows about them is when I'm editing them in bed, which I learned not to do anymore because I got in trouble last time for something I said maybe about her. So I don't edit anymore in front of her. So there you go. So I got all this trash around the property, and I've been trying to get it hauled off for a while. We tried to get it. All right, where I live, okay, we live in the mountains in Ozarks, out in the middle of nowhere, and even the people that live out in the middle of nowhere think this is out in the middle of nowhere. That's how out in the middle of nowhere I live. But I do have high speed. What kind of internet is this, JT? Fiber, high speed fiber optic internet. Because they brought it all to the masses out here. So I do have better internet than some of my friends that live in town. I think I have better internet than Josh does, who lives in town. But so even the people that live out here in the sticks, they won't come out here where I live. And so it's hard to get people to do anything. Like I want somebody to help me come out and do some mowing for me. And every time I say some mowing, I end up saying Samoan, and everybody thinks that I'm talking about somebody from like a Samoan person, but I'm really talking about some mowing. So a little mowing. So every time I do a little mowing or need a little mowing done, I can't find anybody to come out here. And so I saw all these dumpsters because we've got a lot of trash and a lot of like stuff like steel and lumber and stuff left over from when the house was built and all that. So I thought, man, I need somebody to come out here and put up a dumpster out here so I could just throw everything in there. The wife took off work. We're gonna clean out the shop. I'm gonna put a big gym in the shop, huge shop. Gonna put a big gym in it, maybe a little podcast studio, some heat and air, get in that sucker. You know what I'm saying? Give me a nice podcast studio, and I can't get guests out here because I'd have to helicopter them in, and they have to be blindfolded to come out here, honestly. So I can't get guests out here. So I'm gonna have to get I'm gonna do. I'll introduce Ashley, who's coming up next week. But I'm gonna do a interview on the computer next week, and she's gonna be on the computer, and she's gonna come on and talk about some stuff I'll talk to you about later. But I want to do in-person interviews, and so I'm gonna have to find a place in town to do it. Josh and I are working on a place. He's got an office that might work, but it's really nice actually, but it's kind of echoey, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. So, one more round is coming up pretty soon. It's going to be me and Josh. We're going to be talking about stuff like this a little bit more in depth, and stay tuned. You're going to really like it. It's going to be fun. Josh is a great guy. He's a funny guy. He's a good Christian man, and and then I am, of course, me, right? So you're gonna love this show. All right, so moving on. Oh, I couldn't get anybody to get the dumpster out here, and so actually, I had a guy who was going to bring a dumpster. All right, and he comes out, and it's raining and all that. He's like, no problem, no problem. And then I'm out there waiting on him because we don't have service at part of our property. The cell service is part of property where you come into the property. We don't have it. We just have it here at the house. And so he takes one look at my driveway or the road leading up to my driveway. He didn't even get to my driveway. He takes one. I've been watching him. I'm watching the guy. I'm watching the guy down there. He takes one look at it and he gets in his truck and drives off. So I think, well, he's turning around so he can come back up at. So I stand down there in the rain waiting on the guy, and he never comes back. And I come up and text him, and he's like, "Yeah, he doesn't think he can make it up there." I'm like, "Well, people in little vans make it up to the driveway, at least." I'm just, anyway, it's a long story. So I can't get that done. Had a guy that contacted me was want to come out and just pick up the trash for me when one of those little trailers, those black, which those black trailers, you've seen them. I don't know what they're called, but they're black and they're deep. People haul trash in them and stuff. And he was going to come out and do that, and he just never got back with me. Had a guy that was going to come out. We've got this tiny house that I'm going to kind of remodel out here is for a podcast studio, and he came out and looked at it, said, "Yeah, no problem," and then he never called me back. So I don't know what's going on. It's hard to find good help these days. And these guys, it's not like they're millennials or anything. These guys are our age, so it's not like it's you know, uh, it's weird. These people just don't want to work anymore. Um, so I don't know what I'm gonna. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go rent one of those black trailers myself and come get the trash. And the reason I haven't done that before is because the dump around here is horrible. I mean, gosh, I'll put up a picture of it if I can find it. It's one bay, and you have to pay $35 a load. Okay, and it's one bay, and you go in and you have to wait on all the. They have trash pickup around here with guys. They have trucks and they have big cages on the truck and they pick up all the trash. There's two companies and they all get in these bays, and when they get in there, it takes them like 30 minutes to unload their truck. So there's one bay, so that's a pain. And before you say, well, why don't you have trash pickup? Well, I try to have trash pickup around here, but you have to take it. Like I said, I live on a large property. There's probably like three, three different. I have three different addresses on my property alone. So the trash is like out at the street, like where the mailboxes are. And so I'll put the trash out there, and then the neighbor guy's dogs knock it over, and then they weren't picking it up. They weren't picking it up on time. They would skip days, and then they wouldn't pick it up if it was knocked over, and it just was a pain. And then I had more trash than what I had. It was just so I just every 2 weeks I go to the dump. You know, but this big trash that I have, I can't. It's hard to go to the dump, so I have to go to the city of like Fayetteville or Springdale or Rogers if you're in Northwest Arkansas, those big areas to go. So I'm gonna have to make a trip. I might take the uncle with me, the famous uncle. He's a manly man and he knows what he's doing. So I might take him with me, have him show me the ropes at the big dump. I'll do that. That's what we're gonna have to do to get all that. So that's been a kind of a pain we've been dealing with. So another thing, we may not even get to. I don't know. We may not even get to the rundown today. But another thing is, uh, look, men drive diesels. Men drive big trucks, diesels. I'm a man. Okay. I got me a big truck. I got me a diesel. But I did not realize, and my truck's paid off and everything. It's not like it's new. It's like, I mean, old. It's 2019 or whatever. But I did not realize how old. I mean, how expensive these diesel engines were and are, and how finicky they were and are. Like, if you don't punch the gas on these things every now and then, and you don't run, you know, it, it starts clogging the stuff up, and it starts having to regenerate, and you start having all kind of engine problems. Like my tractor, it regenerates all the time, and so if you don't run them hard enough, that's what they do. Well, my truck, I mean, I used to use it a lot to haul when we first moved here. I bought it because I had to, because my 1500 wouldn't. I got a 2500 diesel now. My 1500 wouldn't haul the camper, wouldn't haul a heavy trailer that the tractor goes on. It was just not made for that. So the wife said, "Go down there and buy you a man truck." And I said, "Okay, well, whatever." So I went and did that, and then but man, I did not realize the upkeep on these things were so expensive. I mean, it's like every other month I'm having to drop $600 or something for a filter, or you know, somebody farted in the dash, or it's always something. So now my truck's in the shop because it's got this thing on there. It says the DEF, DEF. I can't remember what it stands for. Diesel something, something. I'll put it on the screen. But so it's giving me an error on that, saying I only had so many miles to drive for it. Drops me down to 5 miles an hour, and I've got DEF in it, so it's a problem with the DEF system, and nobody wants to work on it. The dealer said, "Oh yeah, we'll work on it," but they charge you $1 million every time they work on it. So I'm trying to find other people to work on it, but the car dealers now, car makers, they won't. These mom and pop dealerships have to pay a fee to be able to plug in these cars now, to be able to do the code readers on them. They have to pay a fee, especially on the diesels. They have to pay a fee in Chrysler. They have to pay a fee, and they have to keep that fee up, and it's expensive. And so it's not worth it for a lot of these mom and pop stores to be able to do this. So anyway, I'm having trouble finding a place to fix that. And because I got a place now that says, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with it." Well, yeah, but it gave me an error in a code in the dash for a reason. That check engine light didn't turn itself on for no reason. So well, we cleared it. Well, that's great. It told me I had 69 miles to drive, and I drove 30 of it to you. So now what do I do? So I'm worried about that. I'm worried about that truck, about getting somewhere. Because 5 miles an hour, you might as well be nothing, because 5 miles an hour, think about it, 5 miles per hour. So if you're going 30 miles, 30 hours, essentially, right? So you're going to have to be towed either way. So it's all about emissions, which is diesel emissions, filtration, something. Yeah, that's probably fuel, whatever. It's all about emissions and, the government and, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to offend anybody. So I'm not going to say anything. If I can't say anything nice, I'm not going to say anything. So we had 4th of July was great. I hope you guys had a good 4th of July. I talked last week about 4th of July and that we went, I talked last week about, actually I talked about Father's Day and we went to my dad's for Father's Day. Well, I was also talking about 4th of July coming up, and I talked about my SEAL friend. The SEAL is what we call him, SEAL. He doesn't have a manly truck, and he's a SEAL. So maybe there's something to that. He's got one of those hybrid things. Looks like a car. Looks like an El Camino, actually. We give him the business over that, but we were going to go swim down there, and we decided not to go. I talked about this on the show last week, and so we stayed home and we watched the fireworks bonanza on TV with the White House and the 250th celebration. And I gotta say, man, JT, that was probably the best fireworks show I've ever seen in my life. Right?
Yeah.
And it and I did some research for this, but I forgot to research this, and maybe I'll try to put something on the screen. I don't know. That's a lot of editing that I've already talked about. But before I talked about the fireworks, these people singing the songs and stuff were just astronomical. I mean, it's kind of like that thing where I was talking about the UFC thing where the lady was singing the national anthem, or the guy and the lady sing. These people were Navy people and Air Force people, and they were singing these songs, and I mean, no kidding, they sound like pop artists. I was impressed. And I mean, they could have got these pop artists probably, but they chose to use these military members to sing, and they're part of the Navy band or Air Force band or whatever. But they chose to get these people. They probably go around the country and doing this stuff. They probably sing together all the time. But man, they were just phenomenal. I could not believe. I was just so amazed at how awesome they were. So, cheers to you, Navy choir or Navy, whatever they call you, and Air Force. That was just amazing. It was just awesome. So it's good to see the military people doing something. If I was going to join the military, I'd join something like that. I would join like like the band, or people that do the intramural sports, or Space Force. I'm trying to get JT join the Space Force. He's wanted to join the Marine Corps, but Space Force, I heard that you didn't have to, and maybe somebody could verify this. You don't have to do fitness or anything. You wear a Fitbit and you wear a beard and all that stuff. You can do whatever you want in Space Force. Eat chips, whatever, and it's a cool job, man. So that's Space Force all the way, brothers. Space Force. You want to talk about? All right. Moving on. Oh, we'll talk about the fireworks show. So the fireworks show was amazing. I mean, I thought it was never going to end. It just kept going. I mean, it was just super awesome, and I was impressed. And turns out, okay, they shot 850,000 fireworks, which is a Guinness World Record, Guinness Book World Record, and that was Trump's intention, was to do that, and he broke the record held by the Philippines. In 2016, the Philippines on New Year's Day, maybe it was New Year's Eve, but this is New Year's, shot 810,940 something fireworks. So Trump said, "Hey, I'm going to break that. I'm going to break that record. It's going to be wonderful." You know how he talks. And so he did, and it was awesome. And I'll tell you what, I was impressed. I loved it. I loved watching the people in the stands and the audience, the fans, just the kids, and everybody was just. It was just so awesome. I found this story. There's this story. I'm not going. We're behind on time. I'm not going to go into it, but there was a story by this guy named CJ Womack on Fox News, or not Fox News, Fox Digital. And he was talking about, well, I need to pull it up so I can look at it real quick. I think I have it on here. Yeah. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Okay. I'm not going to do that because I've got some stuff happen. There we go. Oh, that's Lindsey Graham. Okay. Well, anyway, I had the story pulled up, but the gist of the story was that they're complaining about the pollution that the fireworks display caused. And I'm thinking, okay, we're in Washington, D.C., and you're complaining about firework pollution? Give me a break. I mean, seriously, I mean, think about it. Pollution, fireworks pollution, air pollution in Washington, D.C., that's the least of your worries. Am I saying, am I right about that? So I might put that link down below if you want to check that out by CJ Womack. And I don't think he was just reporting on it. It's nothing bad about CJ. It's just that, I just thought it was funny. Let's see. Oh, so what's his sporting events? The World Cup, baby. World Cup. And I hate soccer. I'm not a fan of soccer. I don't know anything about soccer. But I tell you what, I'm kind of getting into the soccer. We got the soccer fever. Got the World Cup fever, baby. I think a lot of people do right now, just because America is, hosting and all this stuff. And this guy, what's this guy's name? Erling Haaland. Have you seen this guy, Erling Haaland, from where is he from? Norway. Erling Haaland from Norway. This dude scored like 7 goals through the whole World Cup, and then like not only does he score goals, but he hits like he kicks the ball off people's foreheads and their face into the goal. It's just, and then he's like a superstar, and he went home to Norway, and he's like a big star now. And I saw a thing on Twitter or X, whatever you call it, where his sister was on there making fun of him because he's kind of like a big goofy looking dude, he's like you know who I'm talking about if you're watching any of this World Cup stuff. But I got Spain winning the whole thing. That's my deal. We have a great friend of mine, a great relative of my wife's is a Spaniard that lives in Spain, and he comes over and sees us. So we're rooting for Spain. And let's see what else we got. Yeah, Spain. I think it's probably going to be Spain and France in the final, if I would have to guess. And I'm pulling for Spain. So go Spain. Because Spain won the thing last year, where it wasn't a World Cup, but it was something they won last year. So I tell you what, I'm getting into. I don't know the rules or anything to soccer, but I'm kind of getting into it. And what's great, what I like about it is my wife is not into sports whatsoever, and she's been watching it. I talked to you last week about the softball thing that my parents got me watching, this pro softball, pro girls softball. I'm watching that now, and and I'm watching the World Cup. And when I say watching, we put it on while we're doing other things, like while I'm doing a lot of editing and stuff like that now. So I put it on while I'm doing that, or I'm actually pulling up while I'm, I'll put it on mute and I'll be watching other podcasts like the Unashamed podcast. I watch a lot. I really love Jace Robertson and Al. So I watch that a lot. And and we do a lot of Bible study while we're watching, and we just have it on. And then when I'm doing the Bible recap with TARA-LEIGH Hobble, if you want to do a Bible reading plan, that is awesome. I'm almost through the New Testament. I'm pretty excited about it, actually. Never been through the whole Bible before. And so we're almost done with I'm almost done with the New Testament. I don't know what these other yahoos are doing around here, but so pretty excited about that. And I will tell you when I get done with that, because I'm going to have a tear in my eye. I'm going to be pretty excited about it. And I'm going to do this every year, I think. So once I started with the New Testament because I've been through the Old Testament so much. I wanted to do the New Testament because I really hadn't focused a lot on that. And so after that, I'm going to go into the Old Testament with TARA-LEIGH Hobble on the Bible recap. It's really great. You can go into YouVersion app and it's in there. But if you watch her videos in there, it'll cut off on your phone. It's probably has to do with my phone or something. I don't know. But you can also find her on YouTube. She's on YouTube, and it's called the Bible Recap, TARA-LEIGH Hobble, and it's like a blue emblem. I can't put it on here because of copyright issues, but it's a little blue emblem. You'll find it. You probably already know about it. It's like the number one Bible channel in YouTube. So that's what I'm doing. Let's see what we got. Oh, yeah. So the reason I brought up the sports thing is I was watching these. You ever? It's finally happened to me where you watch these sports and stuff, and you see these people sitting at the sporting events, like the Wimbledon was on. It wasn't very good this year because Djokovic wasn't in it, and the guy from Spain, my guy, wasn't in it. I can't remember his name now, but he wasn't in it. So it wasn't very good. But anyway, they show these movie stars, and I'm assuming they're movie stars because a lot of them, I don't know who some of these people are. They show them, at the World Cup they would show them, and I'm like, who's that? And then they put their name down there underneath there, and I don't recognize the name. That's when you know you're getting old. When they're showing people that everybody knows but you, and you don't recognize their name, you're getting old. The world's passing you by, brother. That's happened to me. Now they still show Ben Stiller, who, you know, he's funny and everything. I just don't like him personally. But they show Ben Stiller, who I know, and they still show older guys, but all the older guys that I watched growing up are starting to die off. That's how you know too that you're getting old. People are starting to die, you know. So that's pretty rough, you know. And it's kind of like, and you ever see sitcoms? I watch the sitcom a lot of times. Tim Allen and whatever he's doing, I usually try to watch because I love Tim Allen. And every now and then they'll have a guest on the show. They come on the show and everybody cheers, and you're like, and you don't. I mean, I don't recognize the person. He had somebody on his show last year that car show, whatever it's called now. I can't remember the name of it. What's the name of Tim Allen's new show, JT?
I don't know.
Shifting Gears. Shifting Gears is the name of it. Anyway, he had somebody on there. It was a younger dude. And it's usually like a millennial or younger. If it's anybody older than that, I usually recognize, right? And so this guy's about millennial age. And, you know, everybody was kind of like, there's a little bit of cheering. It's not really a studio audience, so it wasn't much of that. But I mean, you could tell the guy was somebody because they acted like they made a few jokes that I didn't really get, you know. So I knew they were about this guy's profession, whatever he did, you know. And I didn't go back and look it up. Sometimes I'm curious. I go back and look it up. I didn't bother on this one, but you know you're getting old when people show up in sitcoms and you're like, I don't know who that dude is. Everybody's cheering, but he must be somebody or whatever. And that's happened this year with me with the sporting events. Actually started happening last year. And I'm like, and I mean, it's not really to do with age a lot. I mean, if I wanted to, I could keep up with this stuff. But my age, being the age I am, I don't care to keep up with it. Right? I don't follow these people that sing weird songs. I don't like Taylor Swift. Oh God, can we talk about Taylor Swift? And is anybody else so tired of the Kelsey brothers? Does anybody else in America but me sick and tired of Jason Kelsey? I mean, I could handle that Travis Kelsey guy because I get it. He's married to what's her name, and he's still playing. But this Jason Kelsey, I watch NASCAR. He's there. I watch the World Cup. He's there. Everything you watch, he's there. You know, I can't watch anything without this guy showing up. I don't even care for this guy. You know, I'm so sick of the Kelsey brothers. I really am. I'm really tired of them. I mean, uh, American media, we're worn out on Kelsey brothers. Okay. So let's get rid of the Kelsey brothers. I hope I'm not the only one with that opinion. I don't, you know, I like Jason Kelsey better than Travis, just because I don't like that singer girl, whatever her name is. What's her name?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. I don't like her, and I don't care for the Kansas City Chiefs a whole lot. So, um, and I like Jason a little bit better because he's a lineman and all that. I like manly men with beards and lineman guys, but now he's everywhere. I'm like so sick of him. So, Jason, take a break, man. Go do your podcast. Um, let's see what else we got going on. Wilmington, we talked about Kelsey's. I guess it's time to go. I don't know how long we've been doing this thing. That's another thing. I need a counter. I need a clock. So maybe next time in my upgrade will be like a clock or something. Um, but oh, I'm gonna tell you my gym story. So I went to the gym. And I had some issues at the gym. Okay. We go to this little hole in the wall gym, and I walk in, and I walk into the gym, and I have I saw this bar, this squat bar across, and it had a couple of 45s on one side of it, but nothing on the other side. And I thought to myself, oh, that's, my brain just like, that's unusual, that's weird. But I didn't really think much of it, So when we were doing bench press and everything, and we was right next to the squat thing. And so we're doing bench press, and I took one of the 45s off because I was using 45s, if you know what I'm saying. I took one of my 45s off and I turned around and put it on the rack. And when I put it up there and I turned around, it fell and hit me in the back of the leg. And I had a big old knot on I had to leave and go get ice and everything. I got a big old knot on my leg and a sore and a bruise and everything. And I turned out I didn't put it on the squat rack, on the rack like I thought. I put it on that bar that had the two 45s on it. I just thought I was putting it on the rack. And so you people out there that gym etiquette, figure out what it is and do it right. You don't leave two 45s. And yeah, when I saw it, I should have fixed it, but I really didn't think much of it, you know. Um, I will next time, but don't do that. If you're a gym guy, don't do that. And I'll talk about my wife's gym some other time because I think we're running long here. But I'll talk about my wife's gym some other time. But um, one thing we're doing is we're going to get into well, I want to say rest in peace, Lindsey Graham, Senator Graham, rest in peace. He was a good man, from what I hear. I didn't know him personally, but I know he always fought for the troops, and he was entertaining, and so I like that. It turns out he they're saying basically worked himself to death, I guess. So anyway, rest in peace, former Air Force brother, Colonel, and so Colonel, rest in peace, brother. So we got that. Yeah, I want to talk about Air Force One. Um, I just want to hit on a little bit. I'll put a picture of it up. The new Air Force One is just freaking amazing, right? It's pretty awesome. I might do some research on that and go into some details on the next show. I just love it. It's beautiful. I love the colors way better than the old blue stuff. And I was going to go into all the stuff on the website that it says it has, but we'll do that in the next episode because I had too much to talk about, I guess, on this episode. So this is going to be like these next 2 or 3 episodes will probably be focusing on fitness over 50, simply because July we're doing this fitness challenge, and so I'm a little injured. Like, you have to be careful, man, when you're old, right? Because you get injured easy. I know weights fell on me and everything, but you just have to be careful when you're older, man, getting out there. But it's important to get out there, right? Get out there, get to the gym. I mean, and we talked about James Clear earlier. Doing that 1%. If you don't have time, or if you, like me, for 7 years until this last year, I didn't work out a lick. I did cardio, but I never did like weights or anything since I've been in the military. So but that's where it's at. That's where, in my friend Josh, the kinesiology major, he'll tell you that weights are how you stay, or the key to longevity as older guys. So if you don't know this, listen to me. Got to start lifting weights, okay? And we're gonna get Josh on here. I'll get Josh on here to do an interview at some point, and we'll talk about how to lift weights in your 50s, because it's way different than what we used to do. We don't go to the gym now for 2 or 3 hours, and because let's be honest, guys, we never worked out for that long. We're just look for babes, right? That's what we did. I used to work at Ghost Gym in the day. I know how it works. But anyway, so so those days have changed. Now that you're in your 50s, you got to work smarter, and you got to know what you're doing. More weight, less reps, stuff like that. And we'll get Josh on here. We'll talk about plans and programs. And he is a certified trainer. He's trained a lot of important people, a lot of athletes and stuff like that. So um, he's trying to train me, but you know, I don't pay him anything, so I don't think he's real motivated. So, but anyway, we'll get him on here. But that's the theme of this week is fitness after 50. Um, I'm trying to be consistent, going to the gym. 1%, just getting to the gym and doing something. Even if you go in and you do one workout, one exercise, 10 minutes, whatever it is, get in the habit. The James Clear thing is all the 1% is all about developing good habits. I say good habits because you can develop bad habits, but it's about developing good habits, going to the gym every day. Just get up and go, get up and go, get up and go, get up and go, get up and go. It doesn't matter if you're going to have a bad day. Um, just get up and muscle through it. Even if it's a bad workout, your mind and your body is getting used to going to the gym. It's like getting up and going, building that habit. Doesn't matter what the workout's like. You did more than your buddy did. If your buddy's sitting on the couch eating Cheetos all day, you did more than your buddy, right? So that's kind of what we're talking about here is just developing habits and fitness and getting in shape because man, um, Senator Graham, he was in decent shape, I guess, but he's 71. 71's not that old. Okay. Um, we've got to start doing something for longevity and our mortality. Okay. I know we're Christians and we're going to a better place and all that stuff, but we want to make every day count. And I want to have as long as I can have with my kids and my family. And I want to make every day on this earth count. One more day we could be on this earth and help bring somebody to Christ is one more day that we've done good. One more notch in our belt when we go up to the pearly gates, right? And you want to honor God by keeping your temple clean, keeping your body in shape, taking care of the body that you were given. So that's part of it. And just feel better, man. I'll tell you what, man, the last 6 or 7 years I felt awful. I mean, I've literally felt like I was dying. I just felt like it was just a matter of time, you know, before I, got a bunch of diseases and died and all this stuff. And I just feel like it was just all going downhill. I was gaining weight and all this stuff. But since I've started lifting weights, and it's not even about the lifting weights as it is about the habit of going there and doing something. It's not really even about, the plan that you're on. It's about doing it. The mental frame was saying, I'm over 50, but I'm not over 80. And even if you're over 80, it doesn't matter. As long as the more you move, the more you'll be able to move. The longer you're active, the longer you'll be able to be active. Does that make sense? And you know what? I would rather kill over lifting weights or running than sitting on the couch in my underwear, right? So I mean, you're gonna go at some point. Um, you know, live every day to the fullest. Make the most of every day. What did you do yesterday to be a better person than today? That's another thing we talk about on this show. What did you do yesterday to be a better person today? I tell my kids this all the time. And I'm going to start asking you when you show up here, how are you a better person today than you were yesterday? What did you do to make yourself better? Did you read Bible? Did you work out? Did you help somebody out? Did you mow the yard? Did you clean the house? Were you nice to your wife? What did you do yesterday to make yourself better today? Because it's all about improvement. You don't want to waste a day. Not one day, not 1 minute, not 1 hour, not one breath. Don't waste it. Because life is short, brothers and sisters. Life is short. And make it count, you know? Um, if, you know, Read the Bible. Read it all the way through. Read it, read it, read it. That's got the answers to the test right there. All the answers to the test are in there. Tom Brady used to say that. I got the answers to the test. It's easy. Well, you want the answers to life? The answers to the test of life? It's in there, in that book. Once you know it, it's easy. Because death isn't a scary thing once you're in the word and you know what the word says. You get peace, right? So, and I didn't mean to become morbid on there, but I'm trying to give some wisdom. This is what we're supposed to do on the last part of this show, But let me know out there what you're doing to stay fit. Let me know what you're doing to stay doing that 1% a day. What you're doing. What was your 1% today or yesterday? Let me know. Put it in the comments. Like, subscribe, and all that stuff. I guess that's about all we got. You got anything, JT? That's just going to wrap it up for episode 4. We made it. They say once you get past episode, most podcasts don't get past episode 3. So we're in episode 4. So that means we got a pretty good shot, right? Well, I hope so. So let's see. We got a couple of sayings. Get up, get out, and get better is one of them. But I kind of stole that from somebody. So I don't know if I'm going to use it much anymore. So what I've been using is, let's see, be watchful, stand strong in the faith, act like men, and be where your feet are.